service, internet service, fast reliable service for your home and your office. Unlimited service with the best coverage. You better choose Connect. Choose Connect.
By popular request, your number one people-centered radio station, OKFM 99.5, once again presents the OK Health Walk under the theme, Promoting a Healthy Lifestyle for a Healthy Nation. On December 14th at 6 a.m. prompt, we will be walking from Congo Town opposite the SOS Clinic through the principal streets of Sinko to the Antoinette Tubman Stadium, where the health walk will be climaxed with free health screening and refreshments. To all fans, ardent listeners of OKFM, social and fitness clubs, our fellow media colleagues, one and all, come join us to climax the year with a healthy lifestyle while we create the environment for great networking opportunities for your various businesses. The energy is going to be electrifying with live brass band music to keep us alive and energized. To be a sponsor of this OKFM landmark event, reach out to the business office where a special media package awaits you. Mark your calendars. On December 14th, OKFM shuts the city down. Health is wealth, so join us in promoting that healthy lifestyle. And with OK, everything is okay. See you on December 14th.
Okay, welcome back. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. Let's start from here. Quick things to run over. Let's go to Front Page Africa. Front Page Africa is reporting this story. Liberia named top destination for deep water hydrocarbon exploration in Africa. Liberia has been spotlighted as one of Africa's top 7 destinations for deep water oil discoveries and hydrocarbon growth, according to the African Energy Council. The recognition underscores the country's potential, with its 29 offshore blocks estimated to hold 1 billion barrels of oil by 2035. This milestone reflects the Liberia Petroleum Regulatory Authority's determined efforts to position the nation as a premier frontier for oil and gas exploration. However, I want you to underscore, however, LPRA Director General Marilyn Logan has urged caution, emphasizing the complexities of the journey from exploration to production. LPRA that's Director General Marilyn Logan, has done what? Urged caution. Yeah. We seem to have the potential as a country. We've been recognized as being a good destination, a potential good destination for deep water oil discovery and hydrocarbon growth. But let's be careful now. And by 2035, we could have up to what? 1 billion barrels of oil. But let's be careful, because there are a whole lot of complexities from exploring to producing. It has to be explored. While this acknowledgement underscores Liberia's potential, the journey to discovery and production is a long and complex one, Logan stated. we must first attract competent companies before considering the prospect of a drilling campaign and realizing the benefits of oil and gas production. Liberia's largely underexplored offshore basin has drawn fresh interest from international energy stakeholders. Advanced seismic surveys have identified promising stratigraphic traps and reservoirs, with geological similarities to prolific oil-producing fields such as Ghana's Jubilee Field and Guyana's Liza 1. Our basin shares remarkable geological parallels with major oil-producing fields, Logie explained. This recognition validates the extensive research and strategy we've employed to elevate Liberia's hydrocarbon profile. There's a 2024 licensing round that is ongoing. The recognition comes as Liberia conducts its 2024 licensing round, offering 29 offshore blocks with significant hydrocarbon potential. And this global campaign, set to conclude in the first quarter of 2025, seeks to attract world-class operators ready to explore one of West Africa's untapped basins. The LPRA has undertaken aggressive international outreach, showcasing Liberia's geological data, licensing opportunities, and fiscal incentives through a robust digital platform and participation in major energy forums. Under the mandate of President Joseph Boakai, transparency and investor confidence are at the heart of our approach, Logan emphasized. Our licensing process is competitive, our fiscal terms are favorable, and our commitment to ethical best practices speaks volumes about Liberia's readiness to welcome global energy leaders. Okay. Sounds very good. Hope we can be able to get the LPRA people to give us a deeper explanation of this. It sounds good. It sounds good for now. Yeah. So we also know that the president has received letters of credence from ambassadors of Sweden, Canada, and Belgium. When new ambassadors come, they always have to submit their letters of credence. I'm in your country, my country sent me to represent it here, So that happened on yesterday. We hinted at protests that was ongoing at the National Elections Commission. There seemed to be some issues at the NEC. You were followed, was it last week before last, when Clarence had the different parties coming in on the show. Different parties were coming in on the show. There seem to be some issues. I don't know how those issues can be resolved. You really do not want those kinds of things around the National Elections Commission. One of the integrity institutions cannot be having such issues ongoing and going. Whoever is supposed to investigate or whatever it should take, should actually look into that matter. Very important. Now, when this administration took over, I remember posting to social media and also providing an argument that people who work in government, whether they are appointed, whether they are elected or whatsoever, whether they are employed, will earn money. And when they earn money, when they use their time, skills, talents, we pay them. When the pay hits their account, it is not public money anymore. It is personal money. OKFM money, for example, is OKFM money. When one is earning an OKFM customer their money and send it to the bank, say, this is Julius JSP, is no longer for OKFM. OKFM cannot decide what I do with my pay. If I choose to take all and give it to somebody, that's my business. If I choose to take all, go somewhere and eat it, that's me and my family business. Now, when people in public service, when they work, they earn pay. And when they earn pay, it is their responsibility, it is their business to use their pay how they feel like. And everybody has something they can use money on. It is important to teach yourself and your children, your family members, that everybody will not be the same. That people who and you live in the same area, or people who and you know each other, or you people play together, if they have things going on, if they are working, they will earn pay. And it is their money. They are not compelled to give you some. I've always argued, the only people on earth that have the responsibility are your mother and father. So let me say your mom and your pa, so we can get it very well. I think up to age 18. There's a whole lot they are supposed to do for you there. If they didn't do it, nobody else on earth is responsible for you. Even if they did it, other people are not responsible for you. And they should choose to use their money as they wish. Even if they work for government, even if they were senators and they were representatives, it is what we choose to pay them. The idea that somebody in public office, when you go see them to hotel, they eating food, and you get vexed. It's a poverty mindset. And I can understand, the anger. When you see someone driving their car, you get vexed. If they went to pool, you get vexed. So recently, some officials of the current administration were in Nimba. I think at one of those places, swimming in a pool. And they posted a video. I took social media by storm. Spending the country money, living luxurious life. Hey man, pool. But I know where it came from, and I am not oblivious that a whole lot of them in the current administration did the very same things to people in the immediate past administration. And when some of us tried to erect those checkpoints, we hear, oh, they own government payroll. Those are some of the reasons. That truth, you see the thing about truth? Truth is always truth. It's just what it is. Truth is truth. We argued back then that it was wrong to just characterize people. During the campaign process, Eugene Nangbe's lobster picture was a campaign. It was a serious campaign message, and living large and luxuriously, and blah blah blah. $15 US food, or between $15 to $20 food, lobster. That's an issue. I got someone, but I think bought and with some kind of second-hand car. The open champagne bottle. Their own party had to use coverage because of the public pressure from the opposition then. When you do these things and you come to power now, then it chokes you. part of the reasons I cannot be a part of the criticism line is because everybody has what they like to spend money on. People say, oh, they should not post pictures. And that's hypocrisy. So the person is earning money. If they go somewhere, they shouldn't take picture and post it that, oh, they were here and they did this. Okay, so the two of us may be working to the same place. Or we may be ministers. I'm earning money. The other person is earning money. We go somewhere. The two of us eat the same food, do the same things. But the other person didn't post picture and I post picture. So I'm wrong. The person who didn't post picture is right. But we spend money. The same kind of money, right? It makes no sense. But these are the kinds of things that we've made the politics. These things that have no meaning, that are not the serious issues. Hopefully, we can now realize that these things cannot be the topics of the day. When officials of yesteryear did that, they were seen as derelict, being derelict of the people. But like, they just didn't care, insensitive, and blah, 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 and all those kinds of things. And most of the people who talk those things, everybody will not be equal. Everybody will not earn the same. If people want to be helpful to people, they should be. So it becomes the issue of what you said yesterday, are you living by it today? I've seen all the defenses and the arguments and all of that, but that is the core of the matter. These things here, when the more people, for me, when with my children, or with people that I know, these are messages that are passed on daily. Right? Don't be envious. Don't think that someone else doesn't deserve to live their life to feel happy because you don't have what they have. No. That's why you hold people to account for decisions in leadership that will impact your lives, and not necessarily someone using their earned money. If there is evidence that someone is corrupting the system and using that money, you have a case. Then you have a case. But the current group of people cannot plead foul because they are also guilty of the same propagandistic attitudes of amplifying these non-substantial issues simply because they wanted to gain power. And these are sentimental issues. They can easily sell to the public. But realistically, they have no bearing. People will travel if they earn money. People will want to live in elevated ways when they earn money. It is a reality of life. Some people spend their money on women. Some people spend it on material things. Some people do business. Some people love traveling. Everybody will not love the same kinds of way of spending money. Hopefully now we come back to the drawing board and we all start to accept a whole lot of things now. And some of us will always be here to remind people that we said it yesterday. So we are morally authoritative to also say it today. Don't be angry. Say, oh, see that person, you. We were all in the same area here. He and us say he be born. But the person that minister, that deputy, that assistant minister, that whosoever, that managing director, the person working, they earning money. Yeah? They should still be pretending and acting like they're suffering. You know, we love pretense a lot. Those are things you just look at, you just pass over. Because those are regular things that anybody should do. What you should push for is for your leaders anywhere they are, whether they are on Capitol Hill, whether they are ministries and agencies, whether they're the president, the vice president, whosoever, bring pressure to bear to do the right things to improve the living standards in the country. Let there be more jobs. I can understand when people don't have jobs and they see others like they are enjoying. It is a natural human tendency. It is understandable, but you can train yourself, you can teach yourself for those things not to move you. That you can strive on your own. And don't allow politicians fool you on those little kinds of things. Don't fool you yesterday like they were not, like I said they were not going to take pay. They fooled you. They made it appear like other people were they did not care. And some of those people they were talking about like that are even more caring than some of them. Were even stretching hands to a whole lot of people by far better than some of them. But it made you to think that they were terrible because of the politics. You change government, other people can they will make money, they will enjoy, they will travel, they will ride cars, they will move to better homes if they can. Those are realities. They do not change. Okay? I just needed to pass that by. So you all know and be able to distinguish between what is more important. Yeah? Okay. So, up Capitol Hill as well. The Senate leadership has decided not to submit any legislative instrument to the House from Nyanti to the House of Representatives until the ongoing court proceedings are resolved. This decision was reached during a leadership meeting held before the start of the Senate session. In response to public reports suggesting that the Senate has resumed legislative business with the majority, senators clarified that this is not the case. They explained that the legislative instruments were submitted to the chief clerk's office and received by the acting clerk, who subsequently communicated with the majority. The most recent legislative instruments include the Seaport Decentralization Act and the Maritime Law, among others. This is from Nyanti. So they said no, they didn't send it to majority. Those two instruments they acted upon today in the majority session. They sent it to the office of the chief clerk, and of course the acting chief clerk received it. He carried on aside because he is there. But they have said now that they are not sending anything there again until the issue is resolved. The legal hurdles are resolved. That is the move of the Senate. The Americans have said something. The Americans have said something. Let's go there very quickly in this legal battle. This political legal battle up Capitol Hill. The Americans issue a statement today, a very coded statement. U.S. Ambassador, they posted a picture of former President George Weah and U.S. Ambassador Mark Tooner. U.S. Ambassador Mark Tooner met former President George Weah on Monday. They discussed the situation on Capitol Hill, and the former president's commitment to Liberia is clear. Paragraph number 2. The United States wants to see Liberia's political process play out peacefully and with respect to the rule of law. And with respect to the rule of law. Now more than ever, Liberia's leaders, past and present, need to show unity. First thing, he met former President George Weah on Monday. Second, they discussed the situation on Capitol Hill and the former president's commitment to Liberia is clear. So these are compound sentence. Yeah, two sentences. They discussed the situation on Capitol Hill is one sentence. The former president's commitment to Liberia is clear. Another sentence. So the two of them are joined by the conjunction and the former president's commitment to Liberia is clear. they discussed the situation on Capitol Hill. It is very coded. The next line that comes says the United States wants to see Liberia's political process. You see, you like it, you go heaven, you come down. Political process whatsoever should always be guided by rule of law. So they say, well, the United States wants to see Liberia's political process. And our political process of Capitol Hill, yeah, play out how? Peacefully, not just that, and with respect to the rule of law. The next sentence says, more than ever before, now. The leaders of this country here, the past ones, the current one, they need to show unity. Okay, he that has an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. In this case, you hear. This is deep. It is significant. It is weighty. Those who understand will understand. This heavily coded message, the people up Capitol Hill, the leaders of the country, past and present, they know exactly what this means for them. They know, all they should know. I have all reasons to believe that they should know. Because even the Americans, when they were removing their speaker, they did a vote not long ago. You know, thanks to someone sent me, just when they reminded me about it, you know. Okay, so let me play it. You know, Mike Gates, the guy who resigned. You know, I've always argued, or I've always said, that thing we can be doing, all I get a people a chance. 1 year, I get it 6 months. Government comes to power, instead of holding them to account right away, people used to get angry. Why Julius just pressing on the new administration? They put just the president is not even inaugurated yet. Well, Donald Trump is not inaugurated. Donald Trump has named his 15 cabinet members. One of them already resigned. Without Donald Trump being president, Donald Trump is still more than 1 month, some weeks away from being inaugurated president. Way far away. These people have not even gone to Senate for confirmation. Donald Trump names the guy as the Attorney General of the United States. And this man here, some of the senators, Democrats, started raising issues. Then some of the Republicans joined in. Issues about some sexual misconduct allegations against him. Donald Trump was hesitant. He did not withdraw him. No, he did not withdraw the nomination. The guy himself resigned. Without even going through anything, he resigned. Donald Trump had to name another person. Even without being there, you think the Democrats sat and said, oh, let's just leave it. The people voted us out. By way. The people want the whole Congress, they want the country, so let's just leave it and look, the country is against us, they voted us out. They piled pressure way before the man takes office. But this Gates guy was was a lawmaker, you know, and he was part of those who pushed for the removal of Kevin McCarthy. You know, in their system, the majority party takes the speakership, no argument, no going for all that kind of election, blah, blah, blah. The people who are the majority, they will produce a speaker. The party that is majority produce the speaker, but some of them thought he wasn't doing well, so they removed him. But they went through the processes. I'm going to just play the video so you hear it. Okay. Let's go there very quickly. This is it.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, and he has failed to take a stand where it matters.
Okay, this is the argument from Matt Gaetz.
Kevin McCarthy is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and he has failed to take a stand where it matters. So if he won't, I will. I make no apologies for defending the right of every hardworking American to afford a decent life for themselves and their families, and we have a greater opportunity to do that and to build coalitions under new leadership. We have to rip off the Band-Aid. We have to get back on a better course. And Mr. Speaker, I don't know how this vote's going to go. Usually when a vote comes to this floor, it's pretty predetermined. And this one, I'm not so sure. But I am sure that we've made the right argument. That this place deserves single-subject spending bills. That we should have 72 hours to read a bill. That something that spends more than $100 million shouldn't be put on the suspension agenda such that we can't amend it. And there shouldn't be secret side deals made on a continuing resolution to lump Ukraine in with border security. That is not right for Ukraine or border security because it fails to give either of those issues the dignity that they would require. But we can return that dignity to this House. We can get back on a better path. We can have single subject appropriations bills. We can set a budget top line. We haven't had a budget in this place since I was in high school. So let's get a budget. Let's get our act together. Let's get on with it. Let's vacate the chair and let's get a better speaker.
On this vote, the yeas are 216. The nays are 210. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
Good. You heard? The vote at 216, 210 in their system. They don't need the 2/3 because it's two parties and the majority will always take the speakership. That's how they vacate. So those things are simple things. The rule of law. The rule of law. These are the systems that we are following. So yeah, let's see what happens. And for me, there can be political bickerings. There can be these playing hardball kind of situations where every side wants to act like, they're so tough and all of that. But I do not believe that in the hands of any lawmaker, they will not respect the Supreme Court, that they will, if the Supreme Court were to rule any way that they will. No, I do not want to believe that anybody wants to tread that path with the rest of the world looking and the possibilities of what could happen. I think everybody is going to abide by the law. And we insist on the respect for what the court will say. Let's take some of your calls. 777-700, 995, 555, 995, 995. Whatever we've talked about, you are at liberty to speak about them. Welcome, let's hear you.
Thank you, Julia. My name is Jonathan Bayan. I'll call from Kingsville.
Yeah, go ahead.
Julia, I agree with you. We must go by the rule of law. But when we're talking about the rule of law, America is not a good example.
How?
For example, okay, when America decided to go to invade Iraq, they said with or without the United Nations approval, they were moving. We were against international law. Donald Trump now is to be inaugurated at President Camp January 20 or so. Yes, the men who were convicted in American
No, but their law doesn't stop a convict for running from running for office.
That's why you are bothering when I say they are not good example for the rule of law.
No, when they say rule of law, it means the law you have in your country, you should respect it. Americans argue that when it comes to election, election is a democratic process and it is the will of the people. So if the people decide someone who is a convict is the person that they want, then that's it.
So what about the United Nations?
We
Do
vote
they
as the
not
United
have
Nations.
veto power then when they were going to invade Iraq? They didn't do it with the approval of the United Nations?
That different case you're talking about. So okay. So let me agree with your argument that yes, you're right. They are not a good example. So we ourselves should not respect our rule of law here.
That's not what I'm saying.
But then when you make an argument, is that what you're saying?
No, we should respect our law, but when I tell you America is not a good example, it's
Okay.
not to respect the rule of law.
Okay.
When Daniel Mandela and other were sanctioned, when they ever tried to be found guilty, when they imposed sanction on them,
Okay. Thanks so kindly.
they were never tried.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. So we should not listen to them.
So they are not good example.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. That's the essence of democracy. Welcome. Let's hear you. Woo.
I said,
Yeah, I'm getting too much feedback.
Mr. Calling from Fongota.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, politics is somehow different. When you look at politics, when you're not a politician, you don't put your hand in politics because it's dangerous. When you were talking about using number eating, when somebody play politics with you, they knock you up. They don't talk in the ear finish. You sat down there, you saw the things happening, you never put yourself right to the people. They knock you up by playing propaganda on you.
No,
but people shouldn't be blamed.
No, you're not. Hello. I don't think you understand the core of the argument.
I can't understand.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, thanks so kindly. Sorry, I don't think you understood it. So it was simple. I was saying people are critiquing the current officials for going swimming at pools and eating at hotels and all those kinds of things. And I was saying those are not things for the national conversation. But the reason people are doing it is because these current people did it previously to other people who were in power that they were eating this and they were swimming this and that. President Weah went to Cape Mount and swam there. The picture all over the place. The president of Syria, he is swimming and blah, blah, blah. So all those things are what I was talking about. Yeah? That when we do like that, then when we come to power too, then we should not do it because people will critique too. But welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius.
Yes, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Frank Gibson from the Color Brigade in Paris.
Go ahead, my man.
You were split tire. Julius, I want to talk a little bit about this gas and oil something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to urge our government to select partners who will give the fair share back to the Liberian people. I want the Liberian government to select partners.
I'm not sure we are at that point, but I will try my best to get to the LPRA people and see how we can bring them on to really explain these things.
Yeah, but I don't want for the government to select partners based on fear and intimidation. They should partners who are honest and sincere, that way the outcome or any process from that product, that resources that we have, they will benefit the Liberian people. There shouldn't be people who will do it because if you talk will do this, then our fear will be there, they will go and choose. I want to recommend the Russian government, they are sincere in some of those things. They can get the fair share of those people. The Chinese, they are very important too. We have to call them to come and do.
What about the French? You are living in France. What about the French?
French are not honest. They do not give fair share to some of those people. We saw in Niger, in Mali.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. Thank you.
France is also guilty of those things, Julius.
Okay, thanks so kindly. if it is never human power, we not have the whole Western world. Let's take the second to last one. Welcome, let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Julius, and good afternoon to the people of Liberia. This is Charles. Yes.
Go ahead, Charles.
Driving to Robert. Julius, I'm very interested in the program this afternoon. Mm-hmm. The issue with our friends from the Union Party that went to have some activities in my county.
Yeah, and the whole activities were overshadowed.
And then it backfired.
Yeah, by...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me lay my premise. The main purpose of them going there was to promote a government program. Mm-hmm. And it was overshadowed by some social activities. So it means that it missed the public relation aspect of that entire program. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then here the political optics of that entire thing, it was not in the favor of the government people. As a matter of fact, I was one of those persons who, when I first saw the video, I called my coach, ran away my friends in the university, and I told them, and I advised all of them, you guys can take this video down, it's not in the interest. And some of them, with the arrogance in them, they didn't care what people will say. And I just said, okay, cool, I'm leaving them. Until they started to spin on social media the way it went. Julius, they all people that are parables, they see rope like a tar, monkey, a tar, baboon. When our friends were in opposition, we criticized Karas Gray. We criticized Eugene Nangbe. We even criticized the bowl that never supposed to use to wear on a neck. The bowl, the bowl. I found out you can buy back down here in a boutique. We criticized criticize it. I'm over there, everybody wearing bull. People hungry, usually not eating 15 food. So you see, those criticisms came from the same people that went to that Lima County. They are very good friends. So sometimes when you are criticizing, know what they are criticizing.
Exactly.
Because tomorrow it might haunt you.
Tomorrow it might haunt you.
The old people got a private say when you point your finger, one is coming back to you.
Sure. Thanks.
Our friends need to reactivate and realize that the same one they preached yesterday is not going to be preached against them.
Thanks so kindly, Charles, for calling in. Let's take this final one. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
This is D.L. right here, one of the colored brigades.
Are you opposition color brigade?
I'm an independent
Also,
opposition colored brigade.
so they got different brigade. They got a pro-government calling brigade, the opposition, and the independent opposition brigade. Go ahead.
Of course, I'm not part of any political institution. So maybe you can see this colored brigade, LPDP colored brigade, NPP colored brigade, but this is an independent one. Jesus, you know, in this country, we criticize almost everything. When it was President Weah government time, you saw how Honorable Eugene Nango put to the sword. In fact, you know how they describe him? They said the man was swimming in worth and luxuriousness. Today, you go enjoy yourself, it goes viral. And you have issue with it. In fact, they're trying to even defend it any way you want to defend it. Even unity partisan are not happy. Simply because those were the things you criticized yesterday. So it was wrong yesterday, today is right. I mean, you saw the opulence, the way the people, the showmanship, how the guys were treating. Why?
What about opulence? So Jago swing in pool, is that opulence?
Oh, you didn't see how the guy was displaying? Didn't you see how the lady display her body? I mean, these are things that, for me, for some of us, these things are not very important. You can pay $5, you go enjoy yourself, especially so when you work on your high-end money, at the end of the day, you take your family somewhere, you enjoy yourself. But yesterday, you made it a taboo. Today, you want to thread such privacy. It's just, for me, it's just a normal way of life. But I like the way Liberians are open to things now. They certain checkpoints. On the intervention of the U.S. government, I think that press statement it's very unique. Why it is true, there's plays of political house, but Julius, you know every political theory is guarded by the rule of law.
Thanks so kindly.
People should subscribe to the rule of law. Thank you.
Certainly, there can be no argument against the rule of law. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. We are segueing over now. This quick, let's take this very quick one from right here. This quick one as we go over to our guests from the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission.
Do you need a car?
Ready for an upgrade?
Then come to Sika Motors, sole distributors of Toyota vehicles, Mitsubishi vehicles, and Yamaha motorbikes, genuine accessories and spare parts.
You name it, we have it. We have the 2022 brands of Toyota vehicles. Select from our new Toyota Starlight,
Toyota Belta, Toyota Rush.
We've got the best deal in town through our Sika Motors financing schemes with selected banks, EcoBank Liberia and UBA Liberia, starting at the lowest as $500 USD. You won't believe these prices. Come for quality, reliability, and durability. Take a spin and let's make a deal.
Sika Motors on UN Drive at Town, Bushra Island, or call Sika Motors on +231 775 987 758 or email cmarketing@cfao.com. Sika Motors, drive with confidence.
Welcome back. We have with us Councillor Alexandra Zoe, Executive Chairperson of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. Welcome, madam.
Good afternoon, Julius. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you can just pull the microphone closer to you. Okay. We also have with us James Kingsley, Acting Executive Director. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Julius. It's a pleasure being here.
Why are you acting? Uh-huh.
That's okay.
That's not what I respond to that. Y'all got me material. Anyway, we have with us Vivian Akoto, Executive Assistant. Welcome as well.
Thank you, Julius. Thank you for having us.
Okay, let's go to the counselor. Why is Mr. Kingsley acting? Was he not the executive
Julius
director?
wants to deviate from it.
No.
Okay,
I'm not deviating.
Mr. Kingsley is going through the internal process of the replacement.
Okay.
Yeah, or recruitment or whatever.
I'm asking because was there someone else?
Absolutely, there was an executive director who resigned. His tenure expired and then he resigned.
Oh, okay. Good.
And so while we are going through the process of filling in the post, we appointed him to act.
Okay, good. No, it has to be clear because it is an integrated institution. So when you're acting, we want to be sure what is happening.
Yes.
So now we know. I wish you well, Mr. Kingsley. I don't know why I just like you immediately. So if you get a job properly, remember my 10% as the pastor in your life. Okay, let's go to the real issue. We understand that the LACC, that is the Anti-Corruption Commission, should be starting a verification exercise, asset verification. What is asset verification, madam?
So again, let me first of all say good afternoon to all well-meaning Liberians out there. It is an honor to once again be given the opportunity to bring our public out there to speak about what we are doing at the LACC in the fight against corruption. So you asked, what is asset verification? I'd just like to give a background. So asset verification is basically the process of confirming the accuracy of information that were provided during your asset declaration. So that brings us back to in May of this year, the LACC, we put out a regulation setting July 31st, 2024 as the deadline for asset declaration for all public officials and appointees of government. And that exercise ended, and so the next process is to be able to verify or confirm those assets that were declared against the physical, actual existing assets. So this is the process that we are about to launch.
It sounds like it's going to be some intensive thing because you have hundreds of people to verify that is going to take a lot. Do you have the manpower?
So actually, we were able, during the asset declaration regime, we were able to identify 1,900 individuals, inclusive of public officials and appointed officials of government. We were able to obtain asset declaration of a little over 900. And what we've done is in that 900, we're able to identify 175 persons. It's a pilot phase that we are now in, and somebody will ask, what's the criteria you use to identify the 175 persons?
Sure.
We basically took into consideration accessibility of the assets, specifically the real properties. So basically, the assets that we are verifying currently are assets that are in and around Monrovia. So we're able to identify 175 public officials whose assets are going to be verified, including the 7 commissioners of the LACC. We're going to kick off the process with the 7 commissioners and then go out to the rest of the identified declarants.
Okay, let's go to Mr. Kingsley on the objectives. what do you see as the objectives of the process?
Basically, Access Declaration is to promote transparency and accountability across government. Is to be able to identify potential instances of illicit enrichment, and also to be able to strengthen the public trust. These are very critical issues. But let me begin with the last one, public trust. There is diminishing public trust in our governance system. People don't tend to trust our public official. That social contract that exists between the governed and the governors is something that has come under serious challenge, that the trust mechanism is broken. And so is one way we intend to restore this is to ensure that people who are in government are accountable to the extent that the process is so transparent that even those who are outside of government are able to say, yes, we know that we've had some issues over the years, but we are beginning to see a departure from business as usual to ensuring transparency and accountability in the operations of government. That is very key. We also want to promote, just accountability. People should realize that when you come to government, you are accountable. You don't serve yourself, you serve the Liberian people. Whether you were elected, whether you were appointed, you are paid with taxpayers' money. And so whatever you do, you should be accountable in terms of what you do, in terms of the resources you manage. You should be very accountable in those regards. And so we thought that it's important to lay out this even from the onset of our asset verification process, so that people know and understand that there are clear objectives. This is not about witch hunting. As we go through the process, we will come to realize that the way even the public official who were selected for their assets to be verified, it was a very transparent process. So it's not a matter of malice as to whether we just want to come after you. It's a process that lends itself to public scrutiny.
Okay.
So we are happy that this is going to play out very well.
Let me come back to the chair on when you were talking about the 175 people. It said that during the declaration time there was some suspicion about their declaration.
So during the declaration, there has not been any real material issue or suspicions of declaration. Like I said, the main criteria is the issue of accessibility, because like you said, asset verification is an intensive process. And in fact, right now, what we are really verifying are movable assets, and then not maybe, but the bank accounts. So if there are, I've not seen instances where there were digital assets when it comes to cryptocurrencies or other digital assets, but just those ones that are available, readily available to us. Somebody will say low-hanging fruits. This is what we are going after right now. So because this is a pilot phase, we will go through the process, and based on that, we'll be able to understand our challenges. We'll be able to just pick up other issues that may arise that will take us to the next phase, which would be the full asset verification, when we shall have, adequate fundings to be able to go into the rural areas, to be even able to some extent go out of the country if the need arises, based on some of the assets that were declared.
Because still on that, I know that during the declaration time, there were some people that were told to perhaps go back and, there was some back and forth with certain people, some discrepancies and all those kinds of things. So I thought those also informed this process of
not necessarily. Some of it, because this is a process that a majority of us are new to. Even with me, the first time I did my asset declaration was when I was going through confirmation, and so during the process, there were some instances where the forms, people were not filling in the forms properly. People were not intentionally putting information that maybe were intended to mislead LACC. But for example, so there's somewhere you're supposed to put your description of your property, and you only put you have one house. So we will call you back and say, can you kindly just identify the house? Is it on one lot of land? Is it located where? Can you put the volume on the page number of the deed registration? So those are issues that were just coming out of the asset declaration process.
So you also be looking at the homes, right?
Absolutely, we're going to be looking at the home. We're partnering with LRA, the Real Property Division. We are partnering with the Transport Ministry, Land Authority, to be able to just verify the authenticity of the information that was submitted. So basically, we're going to match the information on the asset declaration form against existing information that exists with some of these agencies or institutions.
Okay, let's come to Vivian on these stakeholders and collaborating institutions and what are their key roles in this whole thing. I see LRA, LLA, MOT, CNDRA, all of them. Can you tell us why are they important to this process?
They are very important because we do not have access to a database, or for example, if somebody declared that they have a particular land, we do not have access to that database, that information. So we thought it wise to collaborate with those different institutions to help us in the process. LRA is basically, like the executive chairperson stated, LRA is going to be checking taxes. They are also going to be checking, we have real property evaluator on our verification team as well. So they come in to learn their skills and all that in that regards. We will also have Ministry of Transport as one of our collaborating entity. So there are people who declare vehicles. So we want to know, as they declared, whether it's their vehicle or it's in whoever. We're going to be counter-checking those information that they declare. CNDRO also has to do with records and business registration too. LBR is one of business registry rather. LBR is one of our collaborating partners, and they are going to be checking business registrations, business details, and all that. So yeah, they all
and the Financial Intelligence Agency.
Yes, FIA. FIA has a mandate to work along with the banks to be able for So they are already our partner in the integrity institutions, in the integrity organization. So we already engaged them already, and we have started in that regards already.
Let's come to the process, Mr. Executive Director. The details about the field verification teams. Have you trained them now? Are they ready to go and all of that? Should we expect the best out of them? How trusted can they be as well?
Of course, Julius, our assets declaration team is very professional, and they have the requisite expertise. They've been doing this for years, and the current asset declaration officer understudied the previous asset declaration officer. And then when that asset declaration officer left the commission, she assumed the position of asset declaration officer. So she's been there. She represents institutional knowledge. She represents expertise in asset declaration. We can count on her and her team. She has a small and efficient team, and we trust that they will be able to accomplish the task. So, of course, we might need to provide some training. And that might be because we are bringing an interagency team together to develop the protocol and the mechanisms that are going to guide these processes. So we may need to conduct some training in that regard. But in terms of technical expertise, we can assure you that we have the technical expertise at the LACC and the collaborating institutions as well. We've worked together for some time now. I think this is our second or third asset declaration verification we'll be doing together. So it's just a matter of retweaking and inspiring the team to be able to commit themselves to the exercise.
Madam Chair, what are potential challenges you see? Because always when it comes to, inspecting someone's property or whatever they declare, it is like a form of privacy invasion and all those kinds of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even as last week when we began to send out the invitation or the notice letters, we started to get some genuine feedbacks regarding the timing. But then we were just, to some extent, we got some negative feedbacks.
So wait, that means they are aware that you're coming to verify?
Yes,
okay,
they
good.
are. And some have requested for a change of date because some people have already planned activities. Some people are out of the country. So those were feedbacks. Those are the challenges. So what we have to do now is to be able to move people back and forth on our schedule. And then there are some individuals that were just...
No, but some could argue that people don't necessarily need to know that you're going to verify.
Yeah, but to be able to verify somebody's assets, you have to have, again, access to them.
Okay.
So like he said, it's not something as if we are witch hunting anyone. Okay. We are flexible enough to work with people. These people we are dealing with are people who are very busy, and so to some extent, if they have conflicting schedules, we will work with them to be able to adjust the schedule that fits them.
So let us do a mock verification exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I am Director Julius J. I declare house, cars, bank accounts, maybe businesses. How are you going to verify my assets? What is going to happen?
So basically, the first thing is we're going to notify you. And then when we get, we confirm your availability, the team is going to go there first and foremost to have an interview with you, just to put you in the mindset as to what we are looking for in this entire exercise. Then we will pull out.
At your office or house?
We're going on site.
Okay.
Yeah, we are going on site.
On site means maybe
especially when it comes to your house. Mm-hmm. When it comes to real property verification.
Okay.
So we pull out your asset declaration form. So Mr. Julius J, you on your asset declaration form, you indicated that you have a 5-bedroom house. Can we see? We verify that. That's physical verification.
Okay.
And then we verify ownership. The property you claim you stated in your in your declaration that is for you. Can we see copy of the deed? We note that, mark that, because there's going to be a checklist. Okay. We mark that against it, so that eventually, when we gather our information, we will begin to work with Sandra, the Center for National Records. So you give us volume number, page number, name of the owner of the property. We match it, and we fill in our chart that is specifically to you. The accuracy, the information that you provided actually match against what was declared.
Okay.
So during the process, we believe that there are going to be other issues that will come out that will guide us as we go along.
How do you verify the bank accounts?
I said we work with FIA. FIA is going to work with the bank to be able to pull out bank accounts.
Okay.
What we are actually looking for, as at the date you declare, you'll see the form will say, how much do you have in your account right now?
Mm-hmm.
As at the date. If you say you have $125,000 Liberian dollars in your account, we will work with the FIA, write the bank as at that date. We just want to make sure that amount was actually in your account. Once we can verify it, whether you have used it from that time, because it's possible you have used it from that time up to now. We just want to verify.
And the bank statement can justify that.
Exactly. We want to verify the truthfulness of the declaration.
Okay. What will happen if there is additional information seen? For example, I said I have one house, and it came out that maybe I have two, or you discover as at the date of my declaration I had another bank account that I did not declare.
So we will set aside that declaration, work with you to understand. There's like work with you to understand the motive behind why you didn't declare the outstanding assets. And we have our own way of doing it, like our investigator will be able to pull out information from you, and then we'll ask for existing documentation to those new or newly discovered assets. And based on that, we'll be able to do our own recommendation as to whether to make you file an addendum to your asset declaration, file an addendum, or just entirely do the whole thing over.
Or what if I was deliberately deceiving the LCC?
There are criminal charges attached to that one. We'll be able to forward you for prosecution.
Okay.
But Julius, you will see that on the asset declaration form, there's a portion that says, all that I've said, they are true and nothing but the truth. So you are swearing under oath. So when there are material misrepresentation, it's tantamount to perjury. And under Liberian law, you could be prosecuted.
Good. Now, yeah.
So just to add to that, verification is another part, another form of investigation. It's not detailed though. But so when we are going to verify the asset and we see discrepancy, and the need be that we need to forward you to the investigation department, we are obviously going to do that.
Okay. Now, some entities, some of the entities that should hold records can have issues with records. Some of the records can get missing, can get burned. It just doesn't exist. How do you deal with that?
Whereas, as you indicated, the operating context is what we have to deal with, but we are of the opinion that all of the records will not be burnt. And so we want to take advantage of the available documentation that are available. For example, the Liberia Business Registry, the issue of beneficial ownership. You cannot be sitting as a member of a company and then through your political connection, you are a member of a board and you are making determination of the award of contract against the interests of others and in favor of your company. The Liberia Business Registry will help us to identify issues of such nature. The Center for National Document Record and Archives is going to help us to be able to identify issue of land deeds. The land authority is going to establish the authenticity of ownership of land. So all of those different groups, and this is why we are bringing their team on board, so that together we sit and develop a mechanism as we proceed with the verification process. So in the preparatory meetings, it's possible that they could tell us we don't have this or we don't have that. But most of the records they are going to have, particularly as it relates to land, financial transactions, property, and all of that, we are sure that they are going to have substantial information that will facilitate the verification process.
On the issue, Madam Chair, of people being adamant, not being compliant, you read, oh, I'm busy. Oh, can we do this? Oh, I'm busy. If you have that repeatedly coming out of some people who are just dodging the verification, how do you deal with that? Are you also sure that all of these agencies, some of them are not going to give you tough times or not going to show up and all those kinds of things?
So like I said, we've already started getting feedback. Some people are just refusing. They're like, no, we're not going to do. In fact, you have to talk to my lawyer. We're not going to make ourselves available for the asset verification. That is something that we take very seriously, and there are available remedies. Our focus now will focus on the information that are available to us, and then we will cite you in so that you can give reason why you will not be able to declare your assets. Eventually, if you are a public official again, we're going to make our recommendation to the relevant institution. And somebody will say, but all the time you're making recommendation, what if nothing is happening? Our position is to make the recommendation so that the recommendation can be implemented. You will go down public record as a defiant public official, which eventually it may lead to some sanctions against you. But at this point, our focus is to deal with people who are, and between you and I, we're getting favorable feedback. In fact, people are even calling us to ask, when are you people coming? I want to clear my schedule, you know. So this is where we are right now.
Let me ask this one, because it is definitely going to may come up from the course. Are you verifying the president, the vice president, the lawmakers? Properties?
So let me just show a light there. The 175 government officials are inclusive of past and present government officials.
Okay.
And so it's not like it's just one set of government that we are looking at. And a part of these 175, this 175 rather, includes the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature.
Okay.
So they are all a part of the 175.
Past and present, that was very important.
Yes,
Past
and
and
like the chairperson said, we have had great feedback. In fact, I even got a call from Senator DeLon today, because he's part of the process as well. And he's so compliant.
Okay, so y'all go to the president and the vice president, everybody.
Yeah, Julius,
Former president.
It's a process. So we're going to go through the proper procedure of going to the president, verification process. So this is a process that is going to be done with everyone who have declared,
Someone was concerned that you have over 1,000 people, perhaps both past and present. Why just 175? Is it that they are the how do they call it? Those who put real thing there to be verified? Because, yeah, because there are like other people who
No. So
certain things are not verifiable.
As I speak to you, we have some declaration that they don't even have anything, but yet we want to see, like for example, one of our commissioners, he just moved home. He doesn't even have an asset here for himself. He apart from his vehicle that he uses, this is where we're going to start from. So we're going to go work with what we have. If you declare, basically I said we're not going to deviate from what is on the paperwork. It's like you give your testimony. We're going to work within the confines of your testimony. We're going to work within the confines. But what will be verifying is what you have submitted to us. So the 175, like I stated earlier, has to do with assets that are in and around Monrovia.
Okay.
That are accessible to us.
Okay.
To the team. So and
then eventually it will expand.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because this is a very expensive process.
Yeah.
So, and this is LSCC funded. We don't have developmental partners funding this that's what we call it a pilot phase. So we are beginning with 175 because this is what we can do according to our budget right now. So obviously it's going to expand, but 175 as a beginning.
Okay, let's go to the lines. Is there any other thing before I go to the lines? Okay, 777-700-995, 555-995, we have with us some top people from LSCC, including the executive chair herself, and we're discussing. This person says, please ask if you can, these businesses and assets, should they be in compliance with tax institutions, business registry, LRA? Because if you declare 50 million, for example, your taxes should showcase that you're in compliance. Like that, it won't be a bluff thing to announce huge figures when you don't pay taxes. Okay, Alexander Bieder says that you can just drop down this. Okay. Let's go international. Welcome, Frank Gibson. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius, and good afternoon to your guests. My question is particularly for the President of the Republic of Nigeria.
But I'm here and your colleagues. This president said was begging for food to eat before he became president. He said he was begging people to survive.
So, go to your question.
Yeah,
no, but that business is too strong. Go to your question.
So, living on the loan. That was declaration. The over $1 billion, Madam Chair. And you know, considering that when President Bwaka, President declared an asset of almost $1 million, when you consider based on these things that he said in the past, that he was begging to survive.
So, Franco.
Yeah.
You really think the commissioners of the LSCC will be listening for those things rather than the legal information that comes before them? Your line has got really bad from Paris. I don't know what's happening. But thanks, Frank. They got your question. They will answer. They're here. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes, good evening, Julius. And let me say good evening to your guest. M. Gray is my name.
Go ahead.
And I joined the conversation from Renaissance this evening. And Julius, it is good for the chairperson to come on air today to explain to us as to how are they going to start with this
verification.
Verification process. And the question today is, for example, Henry M. Gray place 200,000 in his sale of the asset. Then when you check, then you met 500 plus thousand. Wow. And if you met less, what would be the penalty towards Henry M. Gray?
She talked about them checking what was it on the day you declared. It is not about what is there because you could add up some other things. But anyways, they will answer. I think you left the line. Let's take this one. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Julius, how you doing? Let me tell you, okay, Julius. My name is Focus Wilson. I'm from the Southeast, and I call you from Monrovia. Let me first of all say thank you for your deliberation. But Julia, I think there are too many questions in the composition we need to basically straighten up and work to them. One of the things how to do with I have Arsene Green Group, or maybe in Maryland or Sandal, and I don't want to declare how we didn't know, because over the time we have heard all government officials and even the LACC, we are challenged logistics-wise, we challenge mobility-wise. How would it know, first of all? The second thing has to do with, look, they ask a declaration, what is their authority? Because I later they have the exercise what called quasi judiciary to some extent.
Prosecutorial powers.
Thank you, prosecutorial power. I have not heard, since LCC being commissioned and doing the work, to say, today LCC has done XYZ to Julia Joe Focus position because of XYZ. We need to know if there's any there should be a reference so that we can have that on record. Lastly, I want to say, look, Julia, it is also important that LCC decentralized. It's just an entity that just based in Monrovia here to the best of my ability. I tend to be corrected because I'm basically in the Southeast and I've hardly heard anything about LCC or so.
Okay.
So these are few questions that I hope that they address it.
Okay, thanks so kindly. Let's take more calls. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julia.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm George Watkins, and I'm from a comfort zone district.
Go ahead.
Okay, Julia, thank you for your talking point this afternoon. And I would like to commend your CTF for a splendid elaboration. You see the issue? Hello?
Go ahead, are we listening?
Okay, Julia, you see the issue of corruption in our country is of national concern, and I must commend those visitors there for the high effort so far. And lastly, I would like to know, Julia, this is a question going to them. Since the president said that those who are yet to declare their assets should declare their assets, how is the process right now? That's my question to them. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so kindly. Let's go overseas. I think this is Ben Sanvi. Ben, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Julius. Thank you, and congratulations. Thank you for the show. I've been listening, and let me say congratulations to the LSCC folks. I'm a huge fan of Councilor Zoe. I think she brings a wealth of experience to that job, and I want to thank her for her service to our country. But I have a quick question regarding, I think the previous caller tried to allude to it, the issue of persecutorial powers. Does the LSCC, is it an issue of funding? Is it an issue of capacity? Do they have like enforcement power? Do they have like a standby force or anything? Because just in case, I think I heard one of the guys in there saying that when you sign the form, there is a perjury clause. If somebody is not able, if somebody is being non-compliant, if they're not able to comply with them, what is the process? Are they going to justice ministry? Can they arrest the person themselves, or can they initiate their own investigation and for the person to be able to be held accountable? But those are the questions that I have. But I do want to say again, like I said, I'm extremely proud of the job that she and her team is doing, and I want to thank them for the service to the country.
Okay. Thanks to Karen Ben for your call all the way there from the US. Let's take two more. They have lots to answer to. Welcome. Let's hear you. Okay, you went up there. Welcome.
Peter?
Yeah? I'm fine. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is Lawson Pine, and I'm from District 8 in Musarago. I want to ask a question. I don't know what other people have asked before, but any immediate action for somebody who works for a little $5,000 per month, and at the end, after 6 years, they declare a $2 million asset, especially in the public sector. Are there any action to take against those people? If yes, do you have any casualty? The question goes to your studio guest.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. This brings up, please ask about Prince Scribbler letter from the WASH Commission to these are other issues. Yeah, their own verification, massive corruption at the commission about SEO. I think Scribbler is sent me some letters. I think there's Mesa also. Yeah, I haven't really got into that issue to understand it too. But we'll see. This person says, please ask a guest whether they will match the properties with the official's income. Whether they're supposed to be able to have that kind of property. What is the LSCC doing about a list of allegations in the public as well as pending cases? The same thing I was saying. GSC audit report, LTA, CBL, Post and Telecom. Recently, multiple revelations about corruption at WASH Commission, LCCC, LIS, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Maybe we're going to invite them another day for all these other cases. We have plenty to talk about. Okay. Welcome. Let's hear you. Finally. Yeah? I'm fine. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Councilor Alexander, so informative. Julius, I'm in Monrovia, and my name is Jebelos Itobedisep. So I listened to the commission, the chairperson, and the team there. Julius, there should not be any hidden thing. Once you are the government of the future, clear enough to declare your assets. And the commissioner wants to verify what you declare. There should be no issue. You should not be afraid. So when I listen to the commissioner saying that there are other people who are giving excuses and other things, I think those officials should be named. Yes, if the commissioner and your team went out, then when they inform you, they tell you they did everything and they went out and they are not made available. They should name those officials and let the population know, because you will not come and lie on the oath. You signed the form, and the form, it was clear that I feel philosophy to be second, do that driving. So you should not come and be afraid. But let me ask this question again, Julius. I just want to know from the chairperson and our team with regards to the case that with the legislature where one thought because he was being grabbed and by his police, and that case was sent there. How far is it now?
Thanks so kindly. Let me go on the Facebook Live and see. Oh, that's a YouTube stuff. Okay. But this is the OK Conversation. We are also live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. Let's see some of the comments under the live video. This person says, Bill Willis says, will you guys put out the reports for us to see? Will the LACC be working with licensed institutions to do appraisal of these declared assets to get their fair market value? This is essential to the process. Alfred Wilson says that. City Geeks, what is the procedure for the ABCD step-up method to verify asset declaration? I think we asked that. Someone else says his name sounds fun. People name you can't look at. Okay, let's come back to you people to answer the different questions.
Okay, so I will take a couple of the questions and then Mr. Kingsley will come in. So the first question was the issue of taxes. When people declare their income, are we going to take into consideration taxes, the issue of taxes? The answer is yes. That is why we're working with the LRA. You know, the LRA has the mandate to raise money for revenue for government. So the figures or the money that are declared on the asset declaration form, the LRA will come in with their aspect of what they're going to do when it comes to ensuring that taxes are fully paid on those monies that are declared. The second one has to do with somebody asked if we're going to verify the president's asset. And that question, the thing is, there are procedures when it comes to, whether you like it or not, the president is the president. There are procedures when it comes to verifying the president's assets. Basically, you have to engage the office of the president, be able to get his schedule and be able to, when he's available, you can go in there to be able to declare, to be able to verify his asset. Like I said, this is a pilot phase. We are going to start with the 175. We will build on what to do, what not to do. We look at where we need to improve. We look at what we need to do to be able to get more and more people involved. But when it comes to verification of the assets for the president, the vice president, the speaker, those are asset declaration that we are eventually going to verify. This is a process. So we will do the first phase, then we will engage when it's time to verify the president's asset.
Well, maybe they should be part of the first phase.
The president
to give him more weight.
That's why I say it's a process. To be able to gain, to be able to the president is, you know, the president is a very busy person. Right now, to get him, put him on our schedule, we are going to engage his office. Okay. But so it doesn't slow down.
I don't think he'll have issues of wanting to be among the first people.
No, I don't think so too. It's just that the process of being able to book the appointment to be able to get him on, and I think it's something that he really want to do because he has always been supportive of the asset declaration and the entire work we do at the LACC. So that is not going to be a problem. We have the president asset declaration verification in line for the verification process that will be ongoing.
Okay.
So how will you know whether someone has under declared or over declared? I mean, that's why we're going through the process. That's why we're working with LRA. That's why we're working with the banks. That's why we're working with FIA. When we pull your asset declaration form up, we go, and then apart from that, we'll also be working with some of our whistleblowers. We have people who will be giving us intel. When people give us intel, even if you did not declare those assets on your form, we will ask you for those information that we got through intel. So it's a process I will be going through. We will know whether you declare, over declare, or under declare.
Is the LACC open to people reporting something. They say, oh, this government official got this horse here.
Yeah.
That's whistleblowing.
That's one of the sources of our
Information, yeah.
Okay.
One of the sources of our information.
Okay, good. You can answer the other questions.
Focus talk about the decentralization of the LACC. LACC is a Monrovia-based organization. He may have some element of truth in what he's saying, but the LACC activity go beyond Monrovia. For example, we've gone across this country. Every county of the Republic of Liberia, LACC has been there to raise awareness. And our investigators even go to the counties to investigate cases, at least to commence investigation of cases at the county level and county Monrovia to conclude it. Beyond that, the LACC, if you look under the arrest agenda, one of our priority areas is the decentralization of the commission. We ourselves are aware that the LACC has sat in Monrovia for a very long time. We want to expand our operations and program beyond Monrovia to the counties. And we are considering the different regions of the country to be able to at least establish offices in each of the regions initially, and then beyond that, we can begin to target county by county. So we'll go beyond being a Monrovia-based organization to being a Liberia-based, and cut across Liberia. Talking about corruption or case at reporting issues of corruption at the WASH Commission. This is good news for us, and we could just leverage the information, the fact that it's coming out in the public. We would take advantage of it. Our investigator might want to just look into it and see.
No, I think there were communications.
So basically, we are here for asset, the verification, the awareness.
I hope you all can find some 2 hours to come and give some updates on these different cases.
Oh, yeah.
So it's something we may be reluctant to do because, like I continue to say to the public, we cannot be investigating and be giving out information regarding the investigation. You understand? But
sometimes what can happen, what we see done in other countries, they will come up and say, we are at this point. This is what we know so far.
Our law prohibits
Yeah, the law prohibits that. Yeah. You can only comment on a case in public when you have obtained indictment.
Upon obtaining indictment.
Yes. Our jurisdiction is different.
But let me quickly speak to Sandy's question or comment regarding prosecutorial power. Indeed, the LACC, the amendment to the LACC, the 2022 amendment to the LACC Act gave the LACC direct prosecutorial power. So this means the same power the police have, meaning we can arrest you, we can detain you for 48 hours, we can come in, we can arrest you. As we speak now, we do not have like a dedicated force, but we are collaborating with other law enforcement institutions, including the Liberia National Police. We collaborate with Ministry of Justice. So for individuals who are already saying, and let me just say it right now, people who are already saying, I cannot come to avail myself to the asset declaration or asset verification process, we will give you the benefit of that opportunity. We will engage you, and we will engage you only once. After this process, we will make use of the authority that we have. If we have to go for you to bring you for verification, we will bring you in for verification. So it will just make sense for everybody to just cooperate with us. Basically, all we are looking at is what you gave us is all we are trying to verify.
Is it true or not?
Exactly. That's all we are trying to do here. We're not trying to wish on anybody. And like my colleague said, it cut across the previous government, this current government, executive, judiciary, legislative branches of government. So this is where we are. So yeah, to Sandy's question, yes, we can arrest. We have the power to arrest. Just that when we're ready to go arrest, we'll carry Liberia National Police with our investigators to guide the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think all the questions are done.
Yeah, just to add on, there was a concern about if somebody declared today and then we go and find out that the person, what they declare was. I just want to let the public know that this verification process begins from 2018 to now. So if you declare in 2018 and you exited, we're gonna verify what you declared in 2018 and when you were exiting. So there are two declarations we are going to be looking at. And if you are present government official and you're part of the 175, we are obviously going to look at when you declare till now that we're doing the verification. So we're going to trace bank accounts in that regard as well. So just to
okay. Okay.
And then, Julius, I just wanted to say that our partners are very interested in this process.
Who are your partners?
Our international partners who follow the work of the Commission are very interested in this process, and it will be in the interest of public officials who have been asked to comply with the verification process to do so.
Okay.
To close up to
close up.
We'll
close up with it.
Be publishing as always.
Okay.
So you don't want
to because someone asked if
absolutely, you don't want to fall in, all our non-compliance.
And then some of us will be ringing their names. So, Madam Chair, you just close up.
So again, I want to use this opportunity to say a big thank you to the public out there. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the whistleblowers, those people who have been blowing whistle with regards our investigation. You guys are the true MVP. At this point, the LACC is not the LACC cannot fight corruption alone in Liberia. We need the support of everyone, and not just corruption. We're talking about transparency, accountability, respect for the rule of law. We want to call on all public officials to please adhere to this exercise. Once we verify your assets, you can rest assured for the next 3 years, you will not be hearing from us on asset declaration, asset verification when it comes to the LACC.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks so kindly. We appreciate you being here. Let's take this quick break. After that, Matthew Nyamplu 2.0 to finally finalize everything.
Give you that unforgettable taste of Liberian cuisine. Our villas are designed and equipped to ensure every night spent with us is a memorable one. We are
in what was an unexpected part 1, and there's been a whole lot of concerns already out there, taking social media by storm. Now, so far, so good. Gauging what the reaction is, how has that affected you or given you more resolve?
No, Well, I'm determined because I want to send a message to the country. So a lot of family members have come, advising me to disengage, not to talk. I just told them that, including good friends in the media, to say that I should just, forget about everything and let it go. And I just said to them, I just want to conclude the interview with Julius because I said that I would do it. And I don't want to get the motivation of my appearance on your show mixed up. The reason is simple. The government of Liberia is expending resources at MICAD. The government is paying salaries. The government is paying operational costs. The MICAD building is lighted. The power that lights up that building, that's a paid-for service. So the motivation is the current setup headed by Minister Pierre is inhibiting productivity and progress. And I reached that determination first after 3 months. Like I said, I knew that factors were not quite aligned. After 6 months, I determined that the way out of that misalignment was that the president did not need to fire the minister because he's very grounded in Unity Party. But if we are concerned about productivity and transformation at MICAD, then the president had to consider to transfer the minister to a different role, bring in a communication technocrat who is willing to get dirty with the work, who is willing to sit in technical meetings, who is willing to plan, who is willing to take action, who is willing to transform the ministry. And because I said that to people in the UP hierarchy who can go directly to the president to see that, and I don't know whether that happened, but the unfortunate situation of the Nicotech led to my, unfortunate indefinite suspension and my resignation. I believe I have an obligation to tell the Liberian people the inadequacies and the inefficiencies that affect productivity at MICAD. This is the motivation of being on your show. That's the only motivation I have. It's not character assassination. It's not personal attack. It's not vendetta. I'm interested in this because the people of Liberia who are taxed for the government to operate, the people of Liberia are going to be paying for MICAD to be doing services for the country. Those services are subpar right now under the leadership of the current minister.
Now,
MICAD is fleshing out 20% of what it should be doing.
Now,
the inadequacies are what I intend to point out.
Good. There are those who think that you're being unprofessional, talking about things that happen at an entity that you have resigned from. That's one. 2, that you're being ungrateful to the minister who recommended you for that post. 3, that you may have complications with future employers because of they think a bad faith approach to this whole thing. How do you respond to those before we go to?
I want to respond to all of those 3. The first one, they said I am being what? Unprofessional, right?
Yes.
And I want them to give us the standard of professionalism that they're talking about. Let's know what their standard of professionalism is. And the same question you posing to me, a couple of colleagues have said that, future employers will not be comfortable working with you. I'm very happy if you're not comfortable working with me because you have a bad intention, or you have a perverse incentive to work, or you have a corrupt intention. If you are very corrupt and your intention is corrupt, then obviously you'll be uncomfortable working with me because when you go to do bad things with me in the dark, and I'm not convinced about that, obviously if the power available to me, I would make use of that power to correct that course, and that's what I'm doing. In the current situation, I did not have the power. For example, President Bouaka doesn't know me. He has never met me before. But if I was similarly situated, that people who made the president know that, I will go to the president on the same day that those things will happen and tell him that, Mr. President, if you want productivity, you have to change the minister. That is my call. In terms of future employment, well, Like I said, if you have perverse incentive, obviously you will not be comfortable working with me. And I cannot assure you that when you do bad things with me in the dark, they will not come out. I can't assure anybody about that one. In terms of future employment, well, I believe that I have not done anything unprofessional. I have not done it. I'm concerned about I look at Mika. There are a couple of things that I've raised initially. I say that the Unity Party government, we campaign to prevent George Weah from getting the second term. And we want the government to succeed. And if there are missteps and people want to hide it, obviously I will do that because I put my character on the line. And I said that Boubacar will bring transformation to Liberia. I did that. And when I see people, because of their own personal interests, are trying to inhibit the progress that we want for the country, obviously I have to draw a line between what personal friendship is and what the people think. In terms of people are saying that I'm being ungrateful to my boss man, if my boss man incentives and intentions were aligned, that he wants transformation for the Republic of Liberia, obviously we'll not be having these kinds of conversation. But he may have intention, I may not question that, but apparently he has limitation, or he has inadequacies. And he does not recognize these inadequacies. And these inadequacies and inefficiencies and lack of competence go to the extent of affecting the transformation that can happen in Mika. That's why I'm having this conversation.
Okay.
So I hope I responded to the questions.
Good. Let's move to the Nicotech thing. How did it play out? What was your role in it? Did you advise your minister in terms of when you noticed that it may have had some issues? Tell us.
You know, you gotta give me 10 minutes to finish up the points I laid out for Mika. I want the important points I want to get across quickly before I get to.
No,
so I'll do that in 10 minutes.
The 10 minutes might be too much. Let's use 5
okay,
because I also
give
need to take calls. Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes. I will just need me. Just give me 5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Number one, in terms of the working in the Bureau of Public Affairs, Mika has not had any technical coordination meeting with all the public information officers at all the government ministries and agencies. So when we complain, say, government information dissemination is disjointed, in 9 months the PR leadership has been at the helm of Mika Authority. We have not held a technical meeting to deal with that. You got to verify that. We cannot tell you what is happening in the counties. Mika cannot tell you what is happening in the counties. In Grand Crew, Rivers, and all across. We don't have that capacity right now to do that. And we have not even, that has not even come across even in one meeting that we have held at Mika over the last 9 months. It hasn't happened. Minister Pia is obsessed with looks. He's been too much energy has gone into the Mika building. He even go to the extent that listing Mika building as, you know, the progress that we made in refurbishing the building as an achievement. You know, the minister himself doesn't get dirty in the work. Like I said, it is the chief of staff that is doing his work for him. I have not seen him use a computer to write anything on his own. You got to verify that. I have not seen, you got to see. I have not seen the minister rating any published work anywhere, whether in the newspaper or anywhere. I have not seen that in his name. I have not seen him write one technical paper that passed 1 page. I have not seen that. You got to verify that. I have not seen him use a computer on his own to write an email. The other ministers can do that, can verify that. In the last 9 months we've been working, the minister has started sending an email that passed 1 sentence. You can verify that. Anybody can controvert that if you want to do that. And that view was also shared by the Deputy Minister for Culture and Tourism. She complained in one of our meetings. She said that when you send a minister email, be sure that you will not get a response to him. And the DMA responded to her by saying that our man is mostly on Facebook and WhatsApp. That's the channel he's comfortable with. You can use that to work with him. And the DMA has this shade that says that know your boss. So we should do what the minister likes and is comfortable with. Okay, I will not talk about the famous incident. I've already given a lot of famous incidents. We do not have a policy on emails, for example. We have Mika official emails. I have never saw the minister use Mika official email to send an email to anybody. I'm not sure whether he has even opened that Mika email and used it officially. If the minister had emailed to me, it has been through his private Gmail account. So we don't have a policy on email, you know. So, I mean, you got the professional people who are talking about being unprofessional, they got to judge that. Like I said, the minister doesn't get dirty, we have to cover the country, we don't do that. The true contact situation, I mean, I've already given instances.
No, I want to say, you didn't really explain that yesterday. What was it?
Okay, we sitting in Minister office. Chugunta gets appointed as the head of Liberian New Agency. He goes to Minister Pierre maybe to follow up a list of equipment that Lena doesn't have or equipment that he wants Lena to have. And Minister Pierre is yelling at Chugunta, telling him, "Uncle, my man, I brought you here to work. You got to work. You think government are NGO and where everything can be correct? This is government. Everything is not always correct, so you have to improvise." Then Chukun complains, Lena has more than 203,000 in the budget. These people are using Lena money and we are struggling with our equipment. Every time you go raise it with the minister, he's yelling at you. Okay, I think these are pertinent facts I wanted to talk about. The minister, like I said, the Minister of Information of the Republic of Liberia doesn't have a computer on his desk. If he has it, maybe like yesterday they put it there. You gotta go check there now. I'm telling you, you can verify that information. So if you are the Minister of Information and you don't have a computer on your desk and your chief of staff is the one doing all the work for you, you can tell me where we are. Liberian people, George. So these are work, okay. So I think so far so good. These are the inadequacies that I listed that I wanted to point out. We can go to Nicotech now. I think we have sufficient minutes time to go. Let's deal with Nicotech. What's the question about Nicotech?
Yeah, so I was asking, how did you get what was your role in noticing that it may have had issues, and did you bring that up with your boss?
I gave you soundbites. Do you have those soundbites?
Yeah, but we don't. Yeah, we can just go on because we may not have the time enough to play the soundbites. Okay. But I'm sure the country is aware of.
Let's get Liberian people doing interested, so we can have like 30 minutes for them to ask me questions. Okay, so Nicotech, it was on November 5th. We planned a press conference. I didn't even have the time set to talk about the kind of inadequacy that has to do with the minister started proceeding in organizing a press conference by himself, initially working with Director Fambula, then he catches up with him, and then he calls Rufus Paul and I in your office to say that you people are the journalists, why do you people not give me a briefing note? I said, Minister, but initially you've been doing the thing by yourself. And he said, no, you guys will not give me the point. That's how I took on the responsibility to start writing briefing notes. At the press briefing, those briefing notes now became an integral part of the press conference. The briefing notes, just as the minister won't faint, But initially, he said, so the Minister Pierre has a serious organization issue, and not personal issue. And I'm doing this constructive criticism so that you can have a soul searching. Look, when you are a leader, you have to work through the institutional change. I'll give you one instance. I have been the only minister in the Department of Public Affairs. If you are the only minister in the Department of Public Affairs, then you are the acting deputy minister. But Minister Pierre preferred to work with Daniel Sano at the time, who was the deputy minister for technical services. And I don't talk about all this thing, man. I mean, he got serious issue. He got serious organization issue that he has to deal with.
Okay. So Nicotech.
He said, so Nicotech. So we organized a press conference on November 5th. The press conference is organized. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is not the speaker at the press conference. While just a couple of minutes to the press conference, we get indication that the foreign minister is coming. Or she loves to be called the Dean of President Mbouaka's cabinet. That's the title she loves. So, and the minister, Minister Pierre has, basically this is constructive criticism. He likes to quote favor from the power that be. So he dressed the lady and he gives her approbation so much. So she comes, and then everybody bows to her, everybody gives the protocol to her, and then say the Minister of Foreign Affairs has an important announcement to make. We are sitting at a press conference, the lady mounts the podium, and she tells the nation, the government of Liberia has secured a $25 million loan work study opportunity in the United States for 250 Liberians who will be going to the United States initially for 1 year masters, and then maximum of 2 years master. They're going to study in the STEM program. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math.
So right there, what you're saying is this was not discussed prior with the Ministry of Information team?
well, maybe if she did that, maybe like a few minutes before the press conference started. But I'm not sure whether the minister can tell you whether he had prior knowledge of what she was coming to talk about. Okay. Minister Priya can say that. But I'm telling you, this is just a few minutes to the start of the press conference that we get indication that the dean of the president's cabinet is coming to make our press briefing, and everybody has to give way to her. We have to break our protocol. She has to be the first to speak. So she mounts the podium and makes this very big announcement. A $25 million loan work study program for 250 Liberians for a minimum of 1 year, maximum of 2 years to study in the United States. And after the 1 or 2 years of their study program, they're going to have another additional 3 years to stay in the United States to work. This was an announcement. So if you say that like government of Liberia has secured a $25 million loan study program, so as somebody who has studied in the United States on student loan, so I had some questions sitting down listening to her. So I then gave an indication to Minister Daniel Sanders. I say, ask her, because usually we the minister we don't ask questions. I say, ask her, what are the fields of study that we support? Because Minister Sanders himself is trying, he wants to leave the country to go study abroad. I mean, I've been working with him on that. So I say, so because we two have been working on this, so I say, ask her, maybe it's something you can benefit from. So I say, ask her, say, in which fields? And then she come back to correct. She said, STEM field. Okay. So the announcement is made. She said, we're going to launch it like tomorrow. Or she wasn't very sure that it was going to be the next day or the day after. But then the launch happens. It was on a Friday, I remember. The launch happened. I didn't attend that launch. So I consider that issue it's actually like a done deal. You understand? Once the Minister of Foreign Affairs made an announcement, I consider this was a fact. I did not having to go verify it or to check it out. I believe that this was an opportunity for Liberians who want to study abroad to go study. I have studied abroad. My 2 graduate degrees I studied in Madrid and US. I'm not at a level now to say I'm looking for a master's degree to study abroad. So the people who want to do it, I just encourage them to do it. And then the first indication started coming to me that something was wrong was when my administrative assistant, Amika, decided to take advantage of the program after it was launched. So he decided to follow the link that whole day. Anybody who was very busy that Friday trying to do a whole application. So Buddy got stuck. As soon as they say he will pay $236,000. They say he will pay $236. So that's why he got stuck, because he said, why have we paid $236? So I didn't really pay attention. I didn't take it seriously. So I was struggling with that thing, so I decided to go ask the minister. I said, boss man, this loan program that you're talking about, who is taking on the loan obligation? I went to his office, I asked him, who is taking on this loan obligation? Because if you take on loan obligation, either the student or maybe the government of Liberia. Because if it is the government of Liberia, then hold me, that's good. That means that the students are going to be debt-free. They get an education that they don't pay for, they don't pay debt for, the government of Liberia is going to pay their debt. But if the students are going to take on the loan obligation for themselves, then it's actually great. But if that were the case, then there's no need for the government to advertise it. Because if students are going to be taking their own loan obligation, then what is the role of the government of Liberia in that? And why in the first place the government should have announced it? That's basically what the question was. But the minister was clear to me. He said the government of Liberia is taking the loan on behalf of the students, taking $25 million loan to educate their citizens. The minister was categorical. He said, and in my mind, this is Minister Pierre speaking, and this is an argument I even said on Spoon. He said, in my mind, this is the best investment that the government of Liberia has made. We had $4 billion debt in this country here, and we can't show anything for it. But when we as a government, when we invest $25 million in 250 Liberians to go abroad to study in STEM fields, this is transformation for the country. That was Minister Pierre's argument. Granted, I accepted it that way. Until the following week, it was on a Wednesday, another church colleague of mine contacted me to say that, people know, this thing where your minister advertised, it appears to be something contradicting. I said, what happened? He said, I attended the webinar and I recorded the video. But it does not appear to me that the government taking the loan, because I attended the webinar hours. That is my church brother talking to me. He said, I attended the webinar for 3 hours and there is nowhere it is mentioned that the government of Liberia has done anything like that. What he, for that our colleague, he listened to the Minister of Pierre on Spoon. He said, I listened to the webinar and I didn't hear anything that the government of Liberia has done something for this $25 million loan you're talking about. So he said, I recorded the video, I'm bringing it to you. I said, bring the video to me. So it was sometime on a Wednesday. He brought the video to me, so I painstakingly listened to the video. I was looking for one point, because remember, I went to question the minister whether it was the government of Liberia taking a loan on behalf of the student, right? So I wanted to verify that information that Nicotech boss lady, when she had the webinar, that she actually said that it was the government of Liberia that taking that $25 million loan to educate Liberians. So I listened to the video, I tried, different point until I found the point where she started talking about Liberia. If that video is there, I think I published the link the last time, you can listen to it. And then she's saying that Liberia was recommended to their company, Nicotech, by a pastor in Ghana who knows the foreign minister. That's how she introduced it. And she said that this collaboration was coming through the foreign minister and the minister of education. And she went further and then she started bragging about it, Julia. That's when we started knowing about the whole scheme. So the Nicotech program now, which they call work study, they have something what they call prep school. That's the beneficiary. So when the students use that link to apply to it, they get an email that they are pre-qualified already. In that email, it says that you have received a $2,500 US scholarship grant to attend what they call a prep school. This is why it started scandalous. Nicotech, in their email, they said they're giving Liberians, because this is their first time coming to Liberia, they're giving Liberians 2,500 scholarship voucher. I shared that voucher with you. And they said that the Liberians who were on that webinar, the video that the colleague recorded and brought to me, that webinar, just to attend that webinar, Nicotech said to attend just that 3-hour webinar that they call prep school at $2,500 US to attend it. And because Liberians were on that webinar, the fact that Liberians were on that webinar, it means that they already benefited $2,500 US scholarship, that the scholarship made them to get on that webinar. So I said, what are you talking about? Then Liberians now needed to pay another $236 this time around, which was the condition for what they call to enroll Liberians in what they call the Nicotech courses. They call it readiness school. So that webinar, just to talk about what they call prep school. Then $236 now, that what they call, you need to pay $236 for you to enroll in what they call the readiness school. So at that readiness school, they will teach you how to do your statement of purpose. They will teach you how to do your CV properly. They will teach you how to apply for loan. So I listened to all of that on the video. So I decided to write a briefing of the contradiction and inconsistency from what the foreign minister said to what Nicotech was saying to the fact that they call their program work study. And as someone who's in the United States, Julius J., you need to go to studentaid.gov, which is the authoritative website of the U.S. government for student financial aid program, and define what a work study program is. A work study program is a financial aid program that the U.S. government has to help needy students. And to do work study, you don't need to graduate before you do work study. And maybe enough for people coming from out of the United States that permanent resident and U.S. citizens can benefit from that. If you have to go to school and graduate with your degree before you have the opportunity to work, that one we call it OPT. I've been writing the thing.
Yeah.
So I write everything in a brief. So I sent a message to the minister.